So, if you could give advice to the single ladies,
Okay.
kind of going back to when you made that covenant with God.
Like I was in college.
Yeah, but
Or
when
right
you,
out of
when
college.
you when you prayed about it, right? You prayed about it. What advice would you give to those ladies?
Stick to it. Don't listen to all the BS you're gonna hear from guys.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Living Outlandish. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hey, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all of our subscribers, to our Patreon users. Thank you so much for subscribing. To those of you who have decided to walk through this journey and share on your page, thank you so much. We're just so happy to do life with you.
I thought you was gonna thank me.
Oh, I thank
You're
you
a beautiful
too.
white mom.
Yeah, give it up for
thank
the
you to them
beautiful,
too.
the illustrious
Wait, what?
Miss Jody.
I don't think I know what illustrious means. Is that?
I should Google it before I say it.
Yeah, because that sounds freaking. I'm not trying to.
What? Don't lie. Don't lie. That's what this episode is about.
About what?
Well, I think the songwriter said, "Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Hey, let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that." You know, help me.
No.
Let's talk about sex. Hey,
I'm just gonna get comfortable.
let's get. Hey, I like it. Put your feet up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
I'm
it.
stressed.
You stressed? What you stressed about? You act like there's something wrong.
No, it's not.
Listen, it was the. Hey, listen. We might even go to a little. We might get a little churchy today. We might get a little churchy. I know. We go to Patreon. Right, we talk a little more about on that side, but I'll tell you, we might get a little church just because it was ordained by God. I mean, that was.
You keep saying that.
It is. Hey, that was that is. You ready? That's not just. We're not just talking about sex. Let's talk about worship. Hey, come on now. Hey, you ready?
So gross.
I love it. Hey, so this topic is. It's funny, and I make fun of it because especially growing up in church as a PK, it was
and not growing up in. I mean, I grew up in church, but not as much as you.
True.
And then I had a mom that was a nurse, so we couldn't call it the thingy and the. Like we had to use real.
Real terms.
Had to use real names.
Yeah.
And then everything was so technical and all the talks. And the books.
Oh, the books. Yeah. The thing is, so you talked about it from a nurse with her being a nurse and her giving you the books and the real terminology, if you will.
Seeing all the STDs.
Yeah. I grew up in a churchy world where we don't even talk about it. Like it's taboo. Like that you don't talk about that. You don't go there. So it's funny to me. That's why it's like, how did you grow up to be the dude that want to get online and talk about sex? Listen, hey, we didn't talk about it, but you heard the name Living Outlandish, and so if you know that's our last name, Outland. They didn't talk about it, but a whole bunch of them did a whole bunch of it, and did it in the wrong fashion. Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. Hey, listen. I said if we get another week, we did well. We didn't get canceled. That's okay, even if you're canceled by family, because the reality of it is, we need to talk about it. Like there's times where we could do better as a people, right? Again, we talk about mental health all the time. I think the reality of it is a lot of us don't talk about intimacy, don't talk about sexual relations, don't talk about our body and what we're feeling So much so that it's a mental thing, right? And it ends up hurting us. And so I like to joke about it, like to have fun about it. But the reality of it is, it's something that's healthy that we need to discuss. It was
Yeah, you tricked me. You told me men have to have it.
no, that wasn't a trick. That wasn't the work of the devil. That was you get mad at the Lord. Hey, it was there. It's in the Bible. If we want to go there, we can. Again, we need to do another a deeper conversation about the biblical aspects of it on the Patreon page, right? So where I can just do a whole Bible study.
No, thank you. I'm good.
So if we go through this conversation, do we have anything that you say, hey, dude, that's off limits? Anything?
Yeah. I don't want to hear about my exes and all the things that you're like, you did that with them and you wouldn't do that with me.
I didn't even bring anything up like that. See, so now that you brought it up, I won't do that. I won't do that.
Fine, you can. I don't care. I don't care.
Let's talk about it.
My friend, my sweet friend in Laredo will laugh and kill you all at the same time.
All at the same time. Exactly. So one of the biggest questions that we get as a now married couple, as a couple who were in ministry together at the time, years ago, pastors of a church or pastor of a church, lady of the church, we get the question: did you all have sex before marriage?
Of course not.
Oh God. Listen, we talked about this. We talked episode 1. We talked about this.
Who do you think I am?
Who do you think?
I would never.
Hey, it's okay. Well, the answer is,
I don't test drive cars.
Oh yes, I only buy cars that. No, just joking. So I'll. Can we be candid?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. But.
Oh, there's a but?
The answer is yes,
but.
So let's talk. Let's go back. Let's go take it back, right? We dated. Everybody, if you don't know this, I'm a music guy. I love music. And so that's why I'm always throwing musical references. This is kind of who I am. And so I'm going to do a little hip hop. I'm going to do a little gospel. I might even do a little opera because I was an opera singer. So you might get all of it. A little Pavarotti. I don't know. You might get a little bit of everything from me. So just bear with me. But if we go back to when we were dating, early on in our dating history, if you will, we partaked in sexual relations, right?
Early?
Not early. I mean, like dating. We waited.
What are you trying to make it sound like?
No. I didn't mean like that. What I was going to, that's the caveat because we dated for a while, right? And we did that. The beautiful part about it is we broke up. That wasn't the beautiful part. That was
we
horrible.
Didn't break up.
Here we go.
We didn't break up. I was in a relationship by myself and I didn't realize it.
Oh God.
I was broken up with.
Come on. Listen, I thought that you had cheated. And it was not the case,
and you were wrong,
and I was wrong. And I'm like, why won't you just tell me? Why won't you just be transparent and let me know? And
you just wanted somebody else.
No, that's not the case. Not the case. We have to. We have to go through some stuff. We have to go through some stuff, and so I apologize. So I'm still saying sorry. Some 20 years later, I apologize.
Nothing says sorry more than Gigi.
I think I've bought enough of that. I think if that's the case, if Gigi says I'm sorry, listen, I think I've bought enough of that. You are a VIG. I think I have bought enough of that.
Okay,
so
nothing says sorry more than a little Y, and it ends with an L.
Oh, I bought some of that as well. So hey, I think we're good.
Bora Bora trip.
Oh God. Okay, we get back to this Bora Bora trip.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm focused.
So we together we broke up. Right,
we did not break up.
You. I broke up with you, right? I separated from you,
yes.
And then I called and got you back, right?
Oh,
not easily.
It was more than a call.
It was work. It was work. I had to work on it. Had to, had to woo you a little bit, had to court you a little bit, right? A lot of bit, and beg and plead, and do a little, I'm sorry, had to do all that kind of stuff, all the wonderful jazz.
Yeah.
We got back together, but in getting back together, I did not know something had happened in the midst of us breaking up. You found Jesus or something. Like she was already.
I had him.
She was already saved. She was already a child of God. But let's keep real. I was I'm going to just cut all the just break all the stigmas and tell all the truth. Right. I was a minister at the time.
Oh, I thought she was like, you was old.
Oh wow!
Now we're totally different. Sorry.
Boom! Wow! You know what?
I thought we were going. You were a hoe.
No,
Okay.
that's
Oops.
not. No, that's not where.
I'm sorry. Let me put those words back.
Edit that one out of the podcast. Let's edit that out.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No.
You were a minister.
I was a minister at the time, and even though I was minister at the time, that was one of the pieces that I didn't feel like I wanted to give up.
Minister, not.
No.
So sorry. I was so confused about where
you
the
are very
conversation
confused.
was going.
Very confused.
Okay.
So I didn't want to, but when we got back together, you said that you had prayed, and what was the conversation that you and the Lord had?
Lord, I don't want to have sex until I get married, so please remove the desire to want to do anything that is not pleasing to you.
Why in the world would you pray a prayer like that without talking to somebody you're dating? That's joking.
I did talk to somebody. I did.
So she talked to the main person. Talk to the one that matters. She talked to the Lord. And the funny part about it is, many people don't know this, is when we got back together, for the 2 years after that we dated, we actually didn't have sex.
Yeah.
So
one of us was angry and one of us was okay.
I didn't know if I liked your new, not that you didn't have a relationship prior, but your elevated relationship with the Lord to where you felt like you needed to just step away from something that I enjoyed quite well. So I that's like, it's not just your ball. Like, you just take your ball and go home with it. That's rude. That's
Yep.
So but I will tell you, I believe, now I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I believe it was the best decision that you made for us, that allowed us. Now, I'm not shaming anybody. I'm not gonna listen, because I was that dude that didn't want to have any part of it. Right, standing up in the pulpit, and still, having the desire, still want it.
Being like Cleo for standing up in it.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, still wanted to. But the reality of it is, when you did it, guess what I had to do?
You had to get it together.
Yes, I had to get it together, but I had to go to God myself. Like, I had to do the whole bunch of, God, give me strength. Lord, I need your help. Lord, I don't know if I can make it. Lord, like, okay, you got to make it ugly or something. Like, you got to do so. You can't just let her be walking around here beautiful and be just not deal with it. Like, Lord, please help me. She said, take the desire away. And he's like, well, that was okay for her. That's not okay for you. I'm like, okay, Lord, you're just going to sit over here and just let me torture. Like, just be tortured over here. Oh, I love it. So we go through and listen. If you, hopefully y'all are out there, and y'all know we're real, and I'm telling you, we're gonna be vulnerable. Just keeping it 100, keep it a buck. What we argued about that.
You were mad.
I was upset.
Well, it is what it is.
I'm like, I do not like this.
It was a term you used to use. It is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is. Yeah.
Is the new term. I said what I said.
I said what I said. It is what it is. And so we go there, and we elevate to getting engaged because I'm like, okay, I can't handle this much longer. That wasn't the reason why we ended up getting married. I knew I wanted to marry you, but I'm like, hey, we can fast track this thing. I know she my wife, so there's no need for us to have a long engagement. I think our first lady at the time was like, y'all don't need to wait
I had
that
a
long.
year
No.
engagement because I had to plan all the things. I wanted lilies draped and fabric on fabric on fabric.
Shout out, amen, to the first lady of the house. She was like, no, you know what? Y'all don't need to. She probably thinking, no, my boy is suffering over here. No, that is too long of an engagement. No, we are not going to do that. She talked her into a faster marriage. Amen. Give it up for her. Yes.
It was 5 months. 6 months.
It was a fast track.
And my mom was like,
we getting married.
How you
when?
gonna plan a wedding? Well, we better get started.
Figure it out. If not, we can go down to the park. We don't need no big lavish wedding. I just need a nice wife. I don't need. The wedding is for her. I'm more excited about the honeymoon. I don't know. Actually, it was more so the night of the wedding. I don't even need the honeymoon.
But you weren't that excited after you realized what I packed.
We want to go there. Yeah. I was going to give you a break because we grew up differently, right? Now, while we didn't talk about sex in the church, we talked a lot about sex within my family, right?
You had a lot of
older cousins, a lot of older cousins, right? That we hung out. My family, we were strong. We hung out all the time. Older cousins, younger cousins. You found out about sex super early, right? And in the meantime,
and I only have one older cousin and one younger, very young. Like she was born like 10 years after me.
Yeah.
And my older cousin is 10 years older than me, but he's very private. Wouldn't dare.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
He wouldn't dare say anything about sex.
Really? Yeah, I can see that.
There's no
I can
way.
see that. Yeah, I mean, outside of us, right? My cousin, I think showed my first porno at like 8. Like it was like sit down here and watch this, boy. It was crazy, right? So it was just different, right? We grew up differently, and because of that, we experienced and saw sex differently. Right? We experienced and saw sex for what it was differently. So tell the people we are now married and we are getting ready to go on our honeymoon. And what is the first thing that you pack?
I was proud. I walked over with my little gold packages, magnums. I was like, ta-da. Putting them in the suitcase, babe. He was like,
it's been 2 long years. Okay. And so we got condoms in the bag. Let's go.
But it was almost, we've been married and back from the honeymoon almost a year.
Yeah.
Before I was discussing it with my coworker. And she was like,
don't just say coworker. Y'all were friends. Like that.
Okay.
Don't just say coworker. That is like, y'all were talking about that at work?
No.
Like, y'all were friends.
We were friends. And I don't talk to her all the time, but whenever I see her out. Yeah. She was like, I'm sorry. You're married and you're having sex with condoms? I was like, yeah. How else are you going to do it? She was like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. I said, I
do. It was a phone call for me.
Because my mom said, if you don't want to have a baby, you wear a condom. So wear a condom. And she was like, hold on. Mike.
I'm at my good job. And get this phone call with this foolery. What did she say?
You having protected sex with your wife? He was like, hey, as long as I'm getting it. Don't matter.
It had been a long 2 years. But I
didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And quite frankly, that's not what we were
taught. I really didn't know.
Yeah, I get it. And I won't even say I knew. I didn't know either, right? And so we give you a hard time, but I didn't know either. It wasn't anything bad. It was what we were used to. Like we used them prior to us getting married, and then even though we had the 2-year break, the 2-year rededication to to the Lord and celibacy, if you will, for those 2 years, it still was something that we weren't accustomed to. We weren't used to. And so I get it 100%.
Do you remember what she teased me about after that?
Ooh, I don't.
And I was so worried about it. She was like, you've never had sex without a condom? And I was like, nope. She was like, oh, you've never experienced the plug.
Oh yeah.
And I went, what?
What is that?
I was like, "What? I don't want the plug. That sounds like something I'm gonna get when I'm pregnant. What? What is the plug?
Possibly.
She was like, oh, you'll like when you don't have on a condom, that'll happen, and then it's in there, but it's got to come out. It's gonna come out like in a plug. And so the first time I was like, I'm so scared. I don't know. Is it gonna come out? Like, is it gonna be everywhere? Is like, what do I do with it?
What do you do?
Do I scoop it up? Does it go? She was like, oh my God.
She was
And I remember calling her. I was
so
like,
green.
I was like, no plug came out. What's gonna happen? My plug.
Pregnant. No, I was joking. She's not. The thing is that, hey, birth control in different forms, right? And that worked for us, right?
Yeah.
That worked for us as far as like you choosing to be on birth control prior to, just based off of
My cycle
So that made
regulation.
it easy
Yeah.
for us to not have to worry about getting pregnant. And so a lot
I
of
was in
people,
birth control. I think junior year in high school.
yeah. But it was more so for health reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it made it easy for us to be able to pull not wear them, if you will.
Pull the plug. I didn't get the plug.
God.
I was so worried about it.
And so but right, we were early into the marriage, and
Hold on. I have a question.
oh,
Do you remember what else happened that we didn't know about condoms? And this will go to our paid subscribers.
oh God, yes, I won't do that to you here. I won't do that to you here. Yeah. That would be a in the car conversation, because she's gonna be embarrassed. I'll probably hit y'all on Patreon to tell y'all that story. But yeah, well, yeah, never mind. Yeah, we're not gonna go there. Okay, we may not have, we don't want to. Our parents are not going to pay for the Patreon side, so they won't hear that portion. That we can say what they can hear over here, right?
Okay.
That'll work. So let's go on now, because of our growing up differently from an aspect of what sex meant, what it did. We also had a different ideology of frequency, right? So that was a I won't say issue, but that was a hard conversation early in the marriage. I'm so glad we're over that.
Word choices.
Huh?
What a word choice.
What a word choices. Listen, okay, do you want to explain it? Do you want to talk about it?
So I was just like, okay, we do it like whenever the feeling comes, and great. And Michael's like, no, I got married so we could do it every day. More than once a day. I was like, and that interferes with my schedule. I'm gonna have to pencil you in. When I told him that we could schedule
Oh God.
these interactions, he was very mad. And then they weren't
Like, it's
happening
not like a
frequent enough.
doctor's appointment. I got to get on your calendar.
Then he was like, you're just like a roommate. Like, you're a roommate. If we're not going to do it, you're a roommate. I was like, what?
I don't think I was that.
I'm cooking and cleaning.
wasn't just that.
I'm not no freaking roommate.
I said, if we're not going to, then it would be like you're just a roommate.
Same thing. So then he went to work and told his friends at work that he had said that, and they were like, oh, you're not going to have a house to go home to?
Oh,
She's
my
gonna
dude
burn
was
it down.
like my good friend.
She's going to
he
burn
was
the house
like,
down.
Have you lost your last mind? He was like, that was the dumbest thing you could have said. What are you like? Are you serious? And so because in my mind, but think about society. Okay. So yes, I and we'll be transparent. Like, I had my first sexual encounter when I was 12 years old. Right. She was much older than I was. That was an experience. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It was cool, but it perpetuated a lot of sexual encounters throughout the years. And so, and with multiple partners. Right. And because of that, my understanding was what I was trying to be fulfilled, what I was getting fulfilled by multiple people at one particular time in my high school, if you will, timeline, right? I was expecting my wife to have that same level of fulfillment, right? That's something you couldn't physically possibly do, but in my mind, they do it in the movies. That's what I see in the movie. Like every time, like you just see those movies, it's like every scene.
But in the movies, they're also like, everything's so slow, and you're like, oh my God. We can be done. We can be done with this.
It feels like it's forever in the movie. Let's call it what it is, and it's not. But that's what I experienced. That's what I saw, right? And so one family, right? So that was what I was raised in, and then I was validated by TV and by movies, and
not the Cosby Show. You should have been watching daytime TV, not soap operas.
Exactly, telenovela. But think about it. Now I've been raised and affirmed. You must be wrong.
But that counselor told you different.
Yeah, he.
And so did my OB doctor.
Yeah,
my OB-GYN.
She was like, "What? You?
What is regular? What is regular?" I was like, "Oh, she giving him the business."
She did. She was like, "You, sir, are one wrong. What you are asking for is not just physically impossible, because it's possible they can do it, but it's going to cause some damage." If what you think is right, it's not. It shouldn't. That is only in TV. That is only in movies, and you need to leave it there.
But we've learned over the years, yeah. And
the beautiful part about it is, we have grown so much in our sexual life that it is it truly is a opportunity for worship. Let the church say,
shut
hey,
up.
Shundo.
And we've learned to navigate that with babies, little kids in the house, and now preteens.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole challenge.
That's a whole nother.
Now they know more. They're like, why is your door closed? What were y'all doing?
Knocking on the door. What do you want? Like we have we have a safe haven. That's the beautiful part. We can lock our door. We can go. But still, they have gotten to an age where I don't know if they know and they just blocking.
Our son comes through the closet.
Try to come through the.
Y'all didn't answer me when I knocked on the door.
I'm like, sir, if I don't answer the door, guess what? That means you're not invited in. Stay out. Get out.
And then we got Duke. He wants to just sit there and be like, what are you doing?
It's our dog.
Never mind.
Let me in.
I don't want it. I don't want it. Duke is right there. I don't want it.
They're watching. They're watching. So let's go to awkward. Okay, let's tell some stories. What is the most awkward thing that has gone on from a sexual aspect that you can remember?
Well, I have GI issues, and so I'm always gaseous.
Oh God!
I'm the gassy one, and so that's never really sexy. When I'm like, I'm so sorry.
So sorry. Like, what you apologizing for? It's fine. And
it's better when it's just air, but when it stink, I'll be like,
Like, well, that's from the front of the back. I don't. I don't know.
I hate that.
It's okay.
But we know I got GI issues.
Yes.
I be having issues.
It is okay. It's okay because we know you're not doing it on purpose. It's not all the time. It's every now and again. Every now and again.
Now and again.
Every now and again. It's okay.
That or no. I gotta pee. You gotta let me up. I gotta pee for real. We've been having a situation.
She's like, you hit my bladder. That was funny. So can I tell you mine?
Yes.
It is so embarrassing. It is so embarrassing. And you try to fight through it. trying to fight through it. It's like you are out of shape as hell. You sorry son. You be going and going and going and catch a cramp. Oh God, I'm shot. I think I'm shot. I think it's, and you try to keep going. Fellas, hey, talk about it in the chat. Hey, have you ever been and you catch a cramp and you try to keep going, but the cramp says no? It just locks up. It just hurts. Yeah, I think we need to move off this subject because I think I'm embarrassing myself. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break, but we'll be right back and see you on the other side. Hey guys, if you've not yet subscribed to this podcast, question, what are you waiting on? Hey, hit subscribe now. Also, join us on Patreon for exclusive content. Follow us on social media at Living Outlandish. Also, make sure you join our mailing list for updates and newsletters. Just in case you forget, everything is here in the description below. Hey, stay connected with Living Outlandish Pod. See you soon. And we're back. You ready to keep going? No.
It's past my bed.
No, it's not. It's early. Hey, let's keep it up. Okay. So, when you are thinking about sex and you're thinking about sex in relationship and in marriage and things are like, what would you say would be the number one advice to couples?
Don't be mortified like I was. I remember having to tell the congregation in our church that I was pregnant.
That was funny to me.
And I cried. And I was like, don't tell him, babe. Please don't tell him.
But why? Hold on. Why don't you tell him? Why?
I said, please don't tell him. He was like, what? You're not excited about being pregnant? I was like, please don't tell them. Everyone's going to look at us weird.
I'm like, why?
Because they're going to know we did it.
Oh, that's funny to me.
And he was laughing and I was crying.
They
real tears.
Know.
I was like, everyone's going to know. They're going to look at us crazy. They're going to know that we did it. He was like, we are married. You are pregnant.
They would. I think they would have some kind of feelings if they didn't at least expect it.
I was mortified.
You were.
But open communication. Yep. We communicate often.
Yeah.
Like, what are your expectations? What I have going on? What is your need this week? Like, what's a go? What's a no?
Mm-hmm.
And we can generally agree to try everything 1 to 2 times, with the exception of sharing. I don't share.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't share well. I didn't share well growing up. So that's a no go. But I do like the open communication. I do believe that was what I was trying to do back early in our marriage when we were talking about as far as the roommate thing, because I was trying to communicate my feelings. I just did it wrong. Even in communicating our frequency, I did it wrong. But I do love the foundation that we've never, from what I can remember, we've never been at a place to where we didn't feel comfortable communicating about sex and
That's
our
true.
need, what feels good, what did not feel good, what works, what doesn't work, what I think it should be, what I've let's be real. I told y'all my first porno was at 8. What I seen that I wanted to try, right? Everything and the like, and I think the fact that we were able to have that open line of communication about our sexual life and our sexual pleasures, it has kept us in a place of always learning and desiring each other. Mm-hmm. It has heightened our level of intimacy, where we love, making love to one another, right? But I could be wrong, and you can let me know. I don't think we're in a place of selfishness.
No, not at all. And we not only do we communicate, we're willing to have an open mind about it.
Yeah.
Have respect for each other, so you're not embarrassing the other person because they want to try something. And then with the open communication part, if I read about something new or hear about something new, because I'll discuss on a surface level with my girlfriends and they with me, like we're not getting into the details and nitty gritty, but it's like, girl, I read this in a magazine or I saw this in a movie or read this in a book. We'll share that and I'll share with you where it comes from.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you, not that I feel like you think, oh, you're doing something or you're out with somebody during the day, but it's because I don't want you to even have the thought of, I'm sorry, where'd you hear about this? Where'd you learn about it? So I will tell you, hey, I was talking to so-and-so, and she said she read in a book or online, whatever. So, but I think it's different if I come in and like, I want to try something new. Then
where do you get that from? Like, where'd you pull that bag of out the bag of tricks? Where you been reading? What you been reading?
And it's not a thing of, oh, you're gonna think I'm cheating on you. It's I don't want you to even cross your mind to even cross that path because it's a human mind, so it's going to wonder and be like, I'm sorry. Yeah, where'd that come from? But so I think it just even being transparent in that, and not going into detail with girlfriends or guy friends, and just having an open mind. Like it's just because I did not grow up that way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's something that is important that we have open communication, open dialogue. We constantly reaffirm each other and make sure that the other person is comfortable, make sure the other person is satisfied. And then there's time where, it's a game, right? Where I want to, you're going to get there before I do, right? That game with one another that I think allows us to always have fun with sex. Sex should be fun. Right?
And I have a friend that brought, like, in our couple of conversations, brought about something that was just, like, eye-opening. You knew it, but you didn't know how to explain it. And then you didn't know how to perceive it to be relatable.
Okay.
She said women are like crock pots.
Okay.
Wait, women are crock pots. And men are, you're basically either microwaves. That's what she said, microwaves. Which is, it's true. Like, men can get there like that. But women, you gotta work at it. You gotta put a little effort into it. You gotta, cook it. Add some seasoning.
Hey, my favorite food. My favorite foods take time to cook. Like popcorn is good. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't got nothing. It ain't got nothing on oxtails. They take time to sit there and cook them. Now you can Instapot them, but I mean, if you put them in the oven, just let them simmer. So hey, I'm okay. You can get uncomfortable sometimes. It's taking too long. No. This is my job. I signed up for the challenge. I'm excited. Let's go. Right. But the fact that I know talking about it online is probably, oh, this is cringy. But for us, it's our conversation.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we can openly have that conversation, openly have fun about it. It is cool. Another thing that I think is cool that we do is, again, the marriage bed is undefiled, right? And we go to the store. I won't say any particular names, right? Together, we go to the store and we buy stuff together to experience them together, right? It's like I'm not gonna tell you what not to do, right? That's not my job, right? Yeah. That's not our job. But I will tell you what to do, right? I will tell you there is nothing like going to the store and buying a product that can both of you can experience at the same time, and you enjoy it at the same time, and you fulfill each other at the same time. And one of our things that we utilize together make you act like a microwave at times. It's right. So it allows an opportunity for us to.
I'm dying.
She's like, oh, mama's gonna watch this. But we do it together, right? I think a lot of couples are afraid of having the conversation of, hey, can we use a flogger, right? Can we use handcuffs, right?
No.
I'm not saying we, you and I'm talking about for everybody else. I know she's like, no. I've seen that movie before.
Might as well bring duct tape if you're gonna handcuff me.
But yeah, right. But can we explore sexually, right, and still be in a good value based relationship?
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
You're married.
You're married. That you can the beauty of that relationship is the ability to be able to experience each other fully, and it's something that's fun, right?
If you're dating, then you look forward to that.
Amen. Amen. I told you about them 2 years. I looked forward to it. Yes, Lord, have mercy. So, okay. So let's transition a little bit. One thing is, as far as we talk about open communication,
Yeah.
and we talk about open dialogue. With that, I think goes or requires something that most people don't talk about, and that's trust. So let's talk about trust in the bed, trust in your relationship, because I think a lot of people aren't sexually vulnerable because they're not relationally trusting, right? To go not only like to give my body to you is one thing, right? For us to have sex is one thing, and I think a lot of couples get to that level.
Yeah.
But I don't fully trust you to share my desires fully, share my fantasy,
And not blast me or judge me or
right, or make me feel insecure, make me feel as though I'm lesser than that I had that thought, but instead affirm me to know, hey, if that's the fantasy, let me put on my fireman's hat and let me put on my jacket. I'm going to figure it out. Listen, I don't know about me climbing in a 2-story window, but if that's your thing, hey, let me figure it out, right? Whatever that thing is, like, because it should be fun, but it also should be fulfilling. So when is the last time, right? If you're watching this, when is the last time you actually asked your mate, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your desires? Like, what makes you feel good?
I mean, I would only be worried if, they said something with an animal or something.
Or with somebody else. Yeah, that's not good answers. Those are not good answers. Like, how can I fulfill you? How about you ask that? How can I fulfill you better? And it's a place where if we talk about it, right? If we affirm each other, if we truly love each other, if we truly respect it, you got to respect the body, right, as well. It's very difficult. We can talk about it. There was one point where you were had a heavier weight, right, and you had a thought process as far as yourself and your body.
Yeah.
But for me, the Lord still made you beautiful, and he made, when he made it, he said it was good.
That's what I was gonna say. Everything changes over time. It's not even just weight. It's been weight, health issues, health issues, and then age. Like,
hey, we're not gonna bring up that A word. That's like a 4-letter crossword.
It's 4 letters. It's 3.
I said it feels like one. It feels like a 4-letter crossword.
Okay, I was like, what?
My knees do, and Lord.
It's just, I mean, over time, like the changes that we've had to endure with my body from age has been like, what? But
the beautiful part about it is we've talked through it.
Yeah.
Right? I pray that I've always let you know, because it's always been that way, right? So I'm praying that I'm communicating it well. I've always been attracted to you. at every season.
Yeah.
Right. The season of change was more so for you. Was you were dealing with it, not me. Like I've experienced 27 different women in our marriage. Right. Some of it is personality. Let's call it what it is.
Wow. What a dry night. Because when you were saying, okay, what is something mortifying that just came to my mind, like having to go to the OB-GYN and be like, okay, this hurts no matter what. And she's like, oh, sweet little dry one. Here's some cream. You have to use this every day. And I was like, over 40.
That four-letter cuss word. It's only 3 letters when you spell it, but it feels like 4.
And I mean, I had to come home and tell you. So we have a new little friend.
It's okay.
Here's the applicator. Here's this cream I have to use it was once a week.
Yeah.
Once a week. But it was like, seriously? Why are we going through this?
Hey, it was a health thing. But the beautiful part, and I shouldn't say that. How did you feel I acted or reacted in that season?
Oh, you were good. You were like, okay, well, use it on this day, and then we're good for the rest of the week.
Yeah, no problem. No harm, no foul. Like, we good, right? I think a lot of people suffer from, 1, not having the conversations.
Yeah.
2, not being willing to be vulnerable, right, in that moment, and also not affirming your mate, your spouse, that, hey, it's okay. We're in this thing together, right? But
that was still hard. Nah. Like, I'm sorry, the fountain's drying up.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, the beautiful part about it is, I think we've navigated every aspect of that area really well.
Yeah.
Right?
Because even through my blood, was it transfusions, infusions? I didn't have any energy.
No energy.
The doctor was like, I don't know how you're walking. Like, I don't even know how you're waking up in the morning. I'm like, And I went through 5 of them. Mm-hmm. So it was like,
and it's like, hey,
that was months.
But I know that, right? And I tell people all the time when we're doing coaching, have a lot, and this gonna sound crazy. Have a lot of sex when you can, right? Enjoy a lot of sex when you can. Mm-hmm. Why? Because there will be moments when physically, maybe even emotionally, you can't, right? So if you engage when you can, right? If you partake when you can, in those moments of absence when you can't, your spouse doesn't feel neglected. Your spouse doesn't feel as though you don't want them, right? Doesn't feel as though you just kind of walked away. They know it is truly a health situation. It is truly a situation where, hey, can't be there, can't do it, whatever case it be. I'm working on it, right? And then ready when you're back, hey, let's get back to it, so that you are like, sex is a covenant, and again, I'm not going to apologize for being a Christian. I'm not going to apologize for being a man of God. I believe sex is a covenant, right? It is the covenant between husband and wife and the Lord, 3 in 1. And with that covenant, that blood transfer, that covenant is a constant reminder of what we between the Lord agree one another, and by doing that, it is an act of worship. I joke about it, but I truly see that as an act of worship. The greatest hits, the greatest thing that the Lord ever gave man. If there is anything better than a woman, it is still in heaven, and the Lord knows that we as man cannot handle it. You are the greatest gift God has ever provided for me, and I get to share your body. Like, when he made you, he said, yeah, I need to make sure my boy Mike is taken care of. And so that's my Jesus, the Lord is he got a little gangster when I think about him, and so that's what I think of. That's what he said. Hey, let me take care of my dude, because he's gonna worship me and worship me well, and in this act, hey, I'm gonna get the best hallelujah.
So can you unpack and help me understand
Yeah.
why you feel guys need it? What need versus want? Because when I say I need a new pair of shoes, I feel like I have to give write a paper. What's need versus want? But then when you're like, guys have to have it, they need it. I don't understand why there's no assignment there.
Well, there is, first off, physical makeup, right? There are scientists say there's stuff in our bodies that crave, right, the release, right, and we need it from a testosterone aspect. But I'll go spiritual. I'm not a doctor, right? Minister, right? The way that the Lord made us, right? He placed that within us and placed that desire within us, that longing for woman. One of the first things that when Adam and Eve, so when Eve was made, they were not married. Right, they were not married when even though he pulled the rib from him, excuse me, they weren't married. It says the Lord, and for lack of a better term, I'll go full on today's terminology, allowed the woman to parade around the man, right, to capture his desire,
Okay.
right, to be attracted to her. That is something that the Lord put inside of us day one, and then once he showed us woman, that it was, Adam was excited as soon as he saw her, right? But that's the nature of who we are. Like,
I'm excited when I see the shoes
the Lord didn't make them,
and the
Lord didn't.
handbag.
I get it. You know, the reality is there is now. The unfortunate part about it is there's a lot of lust that comes with that. And so let actually transition real quick. Let's talk about that. The absence of sex in a relationship or in a marriage can spark, if not communicated, if you're not talking, right? If you're not letting it be known what's going on, if you're trying to shield your partner from whatever, maybe it's health wise, maybe it is attraction, maybe it is whatever, right? If you're not having sexual relations because of the nature of man, right, and that desire, ladies, there is now. Should you be, and again, I'm not here to judge you, right?
Okay.
That is not my job. But sexual relations was ordained. We did it prior to. We had a conversation, but it was something that it was supposed to be done in marriage, right? And so if you're doing it before marriage, hey, that then by all means, that's a different conversation for a different day. Give me a moment to talk to the married couples, right? If y'all are not having sexual relations and you are not physically becoming one with one another on a consistent basis, you are opening the door for the ideology of the other person to look elsewhere.
Okay.
You are opening the door for Satan, right, to try to weasel his little way into the back door and try to because that parading in front of man was the first act, right, of Eve. What does Satan know? If I can parade enough of them around, if she's not, then enough of them will come. Now, is it right? No. Should he be cheating? Absolutely not. But it is there. Now, is it your fault? No, it is not your fault. I am not saying that at all. I am not putting that on the person who's being cheated on. No, but what I will say is there are certain things that we can do. Mainly is not even catch this. It's not even the sexual part.
Yeah.
The main thing is the communication.
Engaging in communication.
The thing is, it's not even, hey, we're not having sex, so I'm going to go cheat. No, it is, I don't know why you don't like me. That's a lot of what it is. I don't know why you're not attracted to me. Let me go find somebody that wants me, right? So if we're communicating, hey, I'm in a bad place. Hey, I need I'm not feeling well right now. Hey, I'm not doing I'm not myself right now. Whatever case it be, it should be good men, right? And there's some dogs out there. It should be where they will accept and understand.
Yeah.
I need to be there for my spouse. I need to be there for my mate, right? Because hey, if I'm not there for you, who will?
So how do you feel about scheduling sessions?
I don't like scheduling my doctor's appointment. I'm like, if I'm sick, let me just come in. Like, what do you mean you don't have another appointment for next Friday? What I'm sick today, right? That's my feelings about it. I'm needy today.
But what if that works for couples that have, I work nights, I work days, I'm in town this day, I'm not in town that day. And think about when you were first into management, you traveled for months.
Oh my God, yeah, that was hard. And we joke about it. I do say there are times where scheduling is required, is necessary. It is something that we have to do at times. Not us, thank God. We're not in that season right now. We've been in that season.
Yeah.
But I would say if you don't have the opportunity to be spontaneous because of scheduling, because of life, and because life be lifing, right? If you don't have the ability to do that, it is better, right? It's better. The best is to have sexual attraction and just want to tear each other's clothes off, right? And have that ability to do that at the whim of when you can. That's the number one. That's the best way. But there needs to be a plan B should that not be the case, right? And so I encourage, hey, if you're not able to get to where or you have or kids around or scheduling hurts your ability to be that way, make sure you are scheduling time for one another to pull away from the world, to pull away from the kids, to pull away from the rudimentary stuff. And you come back and join together in that covenant because it is essential for your marriage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Any other question? Anything else? So, if you could give advice to the single ladies,
Okay.
kind of going back to when you made that covenant with God.
Like I was in college.
Yeah, but when
right
you,
out of
when
college.
you when you prayed about it, right? You prayed about it. What advice would you give to those ladies?
Stick to it. Don't listen to all the BS you're gonna hear from guys. It's doable. Especially, I mean, it's a daily challenge, but it's doable. And it was in my mind. It was a standard that I set. So either you're gonna meet the standard or you're gonna fall short.
Yeah.
And then that's where you are. I think that's it.
Yeah, I said I wasn't gonna get too churchy, but can I for a second, just a hot second? There's a great book. I'll say that.
Okay.
Bible. It says, "A man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing," right? I would say, position yourself as a wife instead of trying to present yourself in a sexual manner, because while guys are attracted and are willing to have sex with you, right, based off of the flaunting, based off of you jumping in front of them, and based off the DMs, based off of the Instagram, based off you will have a shot to have sex with them.
Yeah.
But they will never put you in the category of that's my wife, right? Let's call it what it is. That thought behavior is not that finding your wife, right? But it also tells you need to be acting as a wife. A man, it doesn't say a man that finds a girlfriend turns into a wife finds a good thing. It says man that findeth a wife finds the good thing. A wife is not that. Again, my opinion is not that of a title after you get married. A wife is a way you walk. And I will tell you,
So it's like preparing for an interview.
yeah,
You got to
you
dress
know
for
what?
the job you
Hey,
want.
you need to dress for the job you want. You were a wife. And guess what you did? Even though I wasn't pleased with the action of us not having sex, even though that's not what I wanted, I knew you wanted what was best for us. And you were praying for us, and you were interceding for us, and you were trying to do what was the best thing for us. You were acting as a wife and said, even if my husband, my future husband, doesn't want to accept what God wants for us right now, I need to stand and intercede for him and make us do the right thing. And so you were acting as a wife in that moment, right? And so when it was time to say, is she the one? You darn right she's the one, because there ain't nobody else I've been just waiting on and out here for. Like, she is everything that I ever wanted to be. And so I know we're coming up on the end, but I just want to say this. I love you, but even more, I love making love to you.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, this is Living Outlandish. Hey, we got another one in the books. Hey, catch us next week. Same time, same place. Hey, let's go live outlandish.